They say he can't, but he can. They say he won't, but he will. He's more than what he has been through. His heart is strong, he will break through. He is able. He is able. He is able.
What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? How y'all doing tonight? Listen, I'm jumping in tonight. We're gonna have a good talk tonight. Hopefully, we can get some people on tonight to have some conversations with us. We are definitely going to. I hope this doesn't spark too much of a I guess, a uproar with anyone. But this is definitely going to be a good show tonight. I believe it will be. Take a moment right now to go ahead and invite some people in if you are able to, and we are going to get started with this show. Right quick, let me just give a quick shout out to Cameron that's online tonight with me. Cam, what's up, man?
What's up? Everything's good. Everything's good. Been a long week.
Yes, it has, man. It's been a tremendous journey this week. It's been good. It's been long, but it's definitely been good. Um, and Rashard won't be with us tonight. He has a few things that he had to take care of tonight, so we won't have him on with us. So I'm just looking forward to you guys that are jumping in tonight to be a part of this. Hoping that you guys can have a great time with us. So tonight, man, look, our topic tonight. While in a relationship, here's the question. First question that we have tonight. While in a relationship, how does it make you feel to be questioned? When it comes to, and let's just say the topic of what we mean by question. Um, when we talk about this, we're talking about from a standpoint of questioned about uh, being unfaithful in any way, or in any area of not being faithful. How does it make you feel if you're questioned? Does it make you feel some type of way? So tonight we're gonna jump on that topic tonight. I hope you guys are ready to have this conversation. I believe that it's going to be a good conversation. I believe it can be. So let's just see. This is going to be a situation like now, Cam. I'll tell you, man. This goes from women being asked questions from their man, or men being asked questions from uh, their women, their ladies, or whatnot. So this is that moment where we get to ask that question, and we get a chance to see the real talk about it. What what do people really feel? Um, Cam, how about you? Talk a little bit of if you feel, how do you feel about it?
Well, sometimes I feel like if you don't have anything to hide, you would answer a question. But then it depends on what type of question you that's directed to you. The different phases. Um, I have in the past experienced where I was asked certain questions and that person was just paranoid because I knew I wasn't doing anything. And a lot of times people switch the game. They're trying to throw it on you because they know they're doing something and you're not. Try to cover up their tracks.
Oh, so you're saying you feel like when that happens, more than likely, that person is guilty in some way, shape, or form. So they're asking the question in the relationship
Right.
because they're guilty. They
Not
feel like they can kind of throw you off by asking, the questions to you.
Yeah, not in every case. Not in every case. Some cases, sometimes it could be protection, or it could be where they're trying to protection as far as they're protecting you, or it could be vice versa, where they're trying to protect themselves because they're trying to cover up whatever they're doing. So it could go both ways.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Um. So what? Let's put it this way. So basically, like for how does it make you actually feel when you're actually questioned? How does it make you feel?
Go back to what I was saying before. If you're not guilty of something, um, most likely, you're going to answer the question straight up, be straightforward. A lot of times, or if you ask a question and you already explained to the person, and you feel as though they should know who you are and what you do as far as format, as far as everyday schedule and stuff like that. You will get irritated because you feel like, why you ask me these questions? I mean, a lot of times you may answer the question in the way that you feel is best, and they'll still go on and on and on, like they're trying to pick a needle out of a haystack out of you. And then
Okay.
then that's when you get irritated. That has happened to me.
Okay, I hear that. I hear that. And it's kind of like, I get it. But do you have like a personal feeling that you feel when you're
Um,
asked that question?
I feel like like I said, depends on the question, at the time of the question, because it could make me feel like kind of hurt in a way, like, man, they don't trust me after
Okay.
all this stuff we do, and,
Okay.
and so forth. Or you could feel like, what's the word? Um, I mean, like I said, it depends on the time of the question, because things could be good and they could pop out something and throw you left field. Things could be kind of rocky, and it's still like throw you off to the point where you get stubborn and like, I don't feel like answering that question. You should know that already. you know.
We got okay, so we got a couple of people that are talking to us. Heck says it's a it's in a female's nature to be a
Oh
CSI
Lordy,
agent. Oh
he's
wow.
starting something.
Oh wow. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, hey, okay, let's go to the next one. So Cam, he says that, but then Marilyn actually comes on and said, Cam, you are running around the question, bro. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Whoa.
Uh-oh. Wow. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. So Shaft all right, so here's his Shaft. It depends on the circumstance. If I know the person is insecure or if I have given them a reason to, I will just answer it and calm them. But like it missed some words there. It says, but like can it says can say it probably depends. I guess they say, but like I said or whatnot. It could probably depend on the timing. Um, okay, all right, I got you. I got you. Like Cam said, okay, that's what he was saying. Okay, so he put it in there. So like Cam said, he meant it depends on the timing. I'll tell you if I'm ever questioned about my motives or like faithfulness, I believe it for me, it hurts. Um, and I think more than anything, the reason why is because if you spend time with a person, if you are with a person every day, you kind of wonder to yourself, do they really know you? Um, so at some point, I believe that it should be a matter of um, how much do we know each other? You know what I'm saying? How much do we know each other? And how how is there a feeling of a gap? So there has to be ways. Um, I guess more than anything, I believe that there just has to be some type of familiar. I guess having some familiar place with each other to know,
Mhm.
um, even if movements change, if you do strange things, like for instance, let's be real. Does it throw you off? And I'm just going to ask this question to everyone that's out there. Marilyn says Cam didn't say much on his thought. Didn't say much though. He skipped around the question without.
She's trying to start something.
Okay. Cam, but in your defense, Shaft did say that that it depends on timing. That you said it depends on timing. I think where I was going to go next was um, is 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 it really um for us as a couple, as a person, when you have a couple in a relationship together, do you do you really have like should there be a time when you get past all of those type of questions. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
say for instance, I understand that things happen in time. Like sometimes schedules change, or like someone's used to you coming home at a certain time every day, and then for instance, all of a sudden that person comes home later, or they start coming home much later than what they usually come home. Why is that? And this is just a question I'm throwing out there. Why is it that because of that, it makes you start to question the actual character of the person? You know what I'm saying? What makes you start to really question the character of a person? Have you ever had anything like that happen with you, Cam? Like as far as like
Oh
schedule
yeah.
and things
Oh
like
yeah.
that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
I,
Let's talk.
I have had that when I was cheated on several
Okay.
times. I
Okay.
saw their their behavior change as far as things that we're doing, as far as where normal course of the day. You're calling them and they're not responding back, respond back at a certain time, or just a whole lot of stuff, man. Like like I said on some shows before, I've seen where they will lie and say, "Hey, I'm going by a girlfriend," or whatever, or they I want to say something, but I don't want to say because uh, as far as like their I wasn't married at the time. This was somebody I was dating at the time, but when they start changing their underwears and stuff like that, I've been told in the past, yeah, something's going on. And sure enough, it was something going on. Changed their whole character, changed it, clothes changed it, just the behavior of everything they did changed. And then they tried to deny from it, cut me off short, talk short, want to answer straight questions, and that's the biggest thing. When they don't answer straight, that's an issue to me. And you know it too, especially if you've been there before or you've seen it, other people go through things. You
Right.
you have a sense. Like they say, women have that's sixth sense. Men have it too.
Okay. All right.
This
All
is the
right. So
experience.
okay. Let's see what Marilyn said. Hey, skip around the question. Usually has a backstory to it. Okay. All right. So here's my thought. So if that's so, I mean, what like if I felt like my thought process. This is just my thought process. If I felt like the person that I'm with does not trust me, from a stand. This is what when I say this, I mean from a standpoint of not because okay, you found something on me or you caught me, you know what I mean, doing something in the past. But I mean from the standpoint of just because of certain movements. You know what I'm saying? Like just because of certain movements, even like, sometimes you throw cologne on or somebody throws perfume on and they leave out of the house and it's like, oh, what are you smelling good for? And then it's like that whole questions and thing starts coming up. So with those type of situations, how do you navigate? How do you feel like a person could navigate around this? Is that irritating? Does it become irritating at some point? Like, do you put your foot down at some point and say, this is enough is enough? Do you just tolerate it? What do you? Come on, I want to hear from some of the viewers. What do you do? Like, do you just tolerate it? Do you just stick around in situations where you feel like, 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 like like there's no respect on you, there's no respect to you as a person, as who you're supposed to be? What do you do? What do you do?
I,
What about you?
I had someone in the past did that to me where they could leave and do whatever. I knew most of what they would do, and they knew I was doing every day. And whenever I put cologne on or anything like that, they used to be like, "Where you going? Why you putting that on?" Even if I'm going around the corner. I was always told by my mom, you know, make sure you wear clean drawers and make sure your drawers is not holy. Make sure you smell good. And this person will get up and go and do whatever they want to do, and I would never question them, but they will always question me. And I never did anything for them not to trust me, but they did that. And that was very, very irritating. Then we'll get into it because I would confront them like, look, you go wherever you want to go. I don't bother you. So when I'm saying I want to leave or do something, why do you do that? You
It's
know?
most common among women to accuse their mate of having someone else or being up to some form of mischief. Is it more common for women to have that type of stance, or is it more common for men to have that type of stance in the relationship? Do men respond and act as if though um are they more curious or I guess you could say how what would be the
With,
great
with,
best word for
with,
that? Are they more worried about that than women are?
no, women are more like that because society has conditioned and programmed women here that men are dogs. Period. We all know that, and that is not true. There are some women I see on TikTok who are standing up for men, and I appreciate them. And if they're listening, I appreciate you. Who are saying, "Listen, women, y'all got to get it together. You got to get it together." You know, and but I think it's only 2%, which is like 98% as far as who believe that they need to get it. Women need to get it together. The other 98 straight up men are dogs, and that's how women mind is conditioned. They could be mad at me, whatever, but they know it. It's the truth. So we do have to get out of that state of mind and say, hey, let me really dig deep into who this person is that I'm with, or before you get with them, really sit back and ask questions before you even make a jump. So the way I look at it, if you're going to turn around and call a man a dog, you should have looked at this person before you even got with them. There should have been some kind of sign.
Okay, hold on. We got some words coming in. I got
And I'm
Hex.
not mad.
So Hex says these words. He says, I've tolerated that a lot in my relationship, but I know there were reasons in the past that I caused to be questioned. Okay, but since my relationship has finally found balance, and that's no longer a factor. Okay, so basically that disappeared after you worked on the areas that you need to work on. Okay, cool.
Right.
I see Valerie says that women have that sixth sense. They have that sixth sense. Okay,
Six cents or 6 cents?
sixth sense.
Six or sick? Which one? Because women are conditioned to accuse men of being a dog. We got to get out of that. You have to have a balance, like Hector was saying. There
Yeah.
has to be a balance. There
Okay.
have to
What
be.
Joe says. Joe says this. She said, the root of mistrust is insecurity and instability, a lack of identity and confidence in who/whose you are. I didn't go to school to be a detective, so I am not about to check phones, emails, social media, hoping to catch you doing something. And
I
then
like her.
if you have if you have to even do that, I don't want to be in the relationship.
Right.
We are mature, consenting adults choosing to
Mhm.
participate in a relationship. We are not COs. If you cheat on me, not only will the Holy Spirit reveal it to me, but you really played. Hold on, it cut off for some reason. It did not leave the rest of it. You really played a something, but I couldn't catch the ending for some reason. Joe, it cut off the last part. You really played a C or something like that. It said. Um, Gabrielle said agreed and agreed. All right. Valerie came back in and she said they give reasons for a woman to sense the cheating. Okay. Uh oh. Uh oh. Uh oh. So man, Joe, I wish I could have got the rest of that, but that was a really good insight,
Mhm.
good statement. Awesome. Listen, here's the thing though. Like it's really it's like I've had situations and relationships where um, people just automatically think, sometimes because you're too good. Sometimes, oh,
Right,
wait a minute, ladies,
right.
hoping this don't start no trouble with the ladies tonight. Sometimes I believe women have gotten so used to dealing with guys who are not up to any good at all, that when they do get a good man, then what mostly happens is they run them away because they treat them with the same type of suspicion and distrust as they do a guy that was a dog in the beginning. So, what do you think about that, Cam? Is that
Well,
true?
well, guess what? There have been men or women who got with good men from the beginning and didn't know how to treat them because without had never got hurt before. But like I said, society has conditioned women to think that men are dogs, and those who never had somebody did something wrong to them automatically, oh, this is too good to be true. He's treating me like that. Something got to be wrong. I mean, come on, man. We have to get out of that, and you have to really, really pray about it. And whoever you're getting involved with, or whoever you're with, unless you see them do something straight up in your face, that's when
Okay.
you could call it. That's how I
Okay.
look at it.
Okay. I see.
There
I
got to
see.
be a balance, man.
Yeah, it really does. The thing is like in a relationship, man, the last thing you want to do is feel like you're being hounded.
Right.
That's the bottom line. I think that the best way to lose a good person is um is to ruin the friendship of the relationship with accusing each other of things that you really don't have any type of real premises to. It's just a matter of it's just a matter of just suspicion. You know what I'm saying? Like just like
Mhm.
blind suspicion, really. I do read oftentimes people say stuff about the sixth sense or whatnot, but I've had some times when a couple of ladies have been completely off with the sixth sense.
Right.
And it's really like when everybody, it's hard when you try to read a person, it's really hard to read a person when their movements aren't what you're used to seeing. So when you're used to seeing something, you can read a person kind of different. But when you see something different, it could be a misread, so to speak, if you feel what I'm saying. I got Joa jump back down. Hold on one second. She just said, let me drop her in right quick. She said the end of it was the Holy Spirit would reveal it to me, and you really cheated yourself out of a rare woman. Well, that's good. That's sad for you. As a queen, conscious woman, I will have moved on with my life and purpose. Nice, nice,
Hmm.
nice. That's a good conclusion.
Amen.
Very good conclusion. And
Oh, your sound is gone. Your sound is gone.
on my microphone.
There,
Sorry
there
about
you
that.
go.
I hit mute on my mic for some reason. Somehow I did that. Sorry about that. But yes, yes, yes. So all right. So let's just go a little bit further. Let's go a little bit further. When it comes to and Joa said something that was really important. Um, when it comes to like checking phones, emails, all of these things, is has there been at that point, at that point, has there been a a, a considerable amount of disconnect between the two in the relationship? Has there been a considerable amount of disconnect once it gets to the point of reading emails, checking phones, and things of that nature? Is there already a disconnect happening somewhere? Whether it's between both or whether it's in one person's mind.
Hmm.
Let's run it. Let's run it.
Well, me, I don't check my wife's phone, and read her stuff and all that. I really don't care about all that because I just trust her. But I mean, my wife knows all my emails. And she picked my phone up.
Have you ever
Whatever.
checked any? Have you ever checked any female's phone
Nah. Mm-mm.
that you was dealing with?
Mm-mm.
Never.
Never.
I have.
Never could have make it.
I have. And let me tell you something.
Nah.
Let me tell you something. This is the
I took
crazy.
the bag one time, but not the phone.
Man, don't do that. Don't do that. You won't check the phone, but you don't do that. Don't do that. But you check the
That was years ago.
bag.
I had a
Years-
reason to.
I
Yeah.
did it before. I'm gonna tell you, I did it. It's something crazy because it's like, and this is gonna sound real crazy, but I'm telling you, this is gonna be some really good stuff. So I have like this. I don't know how, but God seems to talk to me when I'm asleep, right?
Mhm.
And I remember several situations where I was asleep and I knew exactly what name to go to in the phone. And it led me exactly to what was going on that was crazy in that situation. So when even checking, like when you say check bags, like
Mhm.
sometimes we have to be really sometimes God can still push you and tell you what to look for to know what you're dealing with. You know what I mean? So I've even had times where I've seen where like I woke up and like literally out of the blue, God's like, look at the bag. And then, like you just said, the bag, right? So I
Mhm.
look at the bag and it's literally a piece of paper like barely sticking out of the bag. I opened the bag and I got the paper and read it, man. It was actually a spell that this young chick had went to the voodoo doctor concerning me and she was about to place a spell. So that was crazy to me. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So when I think about like, I'm not listen, this is what I believe that God will protect you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? In dealing with people, I believe he will protect you and he'll show you what you need to see so you know what you're dealing with. Now, after that, you can have your own conclusion. But yeah, I've had that in the past. So I have to say that I have checked before. I'm not gonna tell you, I won't lie to you. If I have a suspicion, I have a suspicion.
I would check for some money.
Checking for money. Then I take the money out of the girl bag. Damn, don't do that. Hold on one second. I gotta put this on Joy right quick. Let me read it again. I like Joy's comments. I like to read what she has to say. Joy, I'm gonna have to pull you on the show one day. Let's see.
Uh-huh.
So my thing is you're gonna check it and still stay. Right. Let him or her cheat in peace, cause the truth bears a responsibility. You're clearly not ready to get the answers you need to make healthy decisions to honor yourself. If I check, I'm dipping. You're right.
Well,
Right.
Joy, me too. That's what I did. I dipped.
You better believe it. And that's what I did. So, and that's what you should do. Like
Yep.
if you check and you find what you're looking for,
Check out.
don't use that and then start to try to like use that as a wager as part of the argument to just kind of push that on each other as an argument token. You know what I'm saying? It's time to go. I mean, that's the
Yep.
drawing point. That's like the line in the sand, really. You know what I mean? George say, "Bring me on the show." I will.
Oh yeah, come on.
I am. I'm gonna send you a link to the it'll send a link to your inbox on your messenger. All right, so check it out. So Valerie, she says, when you see there is some other texting to someone that they have been cheating, then you lose all trust. True, that's very true. Yeah, and you know, I do know people who have found out that there was some stuff happening and they still stayed. And it's like, if you're going to be going back and forth, and if you're going to be telling somebody or accusing someone of something, not trusting them, and you found enough stuff that you know that this is some dirt going on, you know what I'm saying? Why stay? why stay? I mean, what is the real reason to stay? What keeps you locked in? You know what I'm saying? What keeps you locked in? And I have an answer for that. Because the crazy thing is, most people stay in relationships for the sake of competition. They don't even keep the person that they're with because they really like them.
Right.
They keep the person because they're competing. You know what I'm saying? That the other person doesn't take the person themselves. And it's
Right.
like almost like I will go through all of the worst of the worst just so I can say that I got this person, that this person is mine, and the other girl did not get him. You know what I'm saying? Or the fella says, I'll stay with her, knowing that she's not good for me in any way, just so that the other dude can't get her. And that happens so many times because competition is like a sickness. Let's be real. It really takes the place. It's like a real mental health issue when you go into a competition mode and you keep someone only because you don't want somebody else to have them. And you'll go through all type of stuff. Like you lose sleep. You know what I'm saying? You'll lose sleep, lose money, lose everything, friends, the whole nine, just to keep this person that's not even healthy for you in any way, shape, or form. That, to me, is the craziest part. I see you said married, marriage vows. Yeah, some people stay just for the sake of the vows, and hey, to each his own. I think for me, the marriage vows would pretty much be done if there was like sexual things happen, if there was sex in the picture. You know what I'm saying? Like a whole nother relationship going on with someone else, and I think the marriage vows, to me, it will probably be like null and void at that point. You know what I mean? Let me see what else we got. Hold on one second. Let me read. And Gabriel says, setting, they're scared to start over, kids, etc. All the wrong reasons. Right. Yeah. And it's like, I get it from back in the day. I get it from my dad's day. You know what I'm saying? When in my father's days, there was no real jobs like that. You know what I'm saying? And it really did take a household to have both people up in there in order for them to really have anything for them and their children, and to walk away and just start over and call it quits is really, that was like a crazy thing, a very hard thing to do. Today, I believe that what's happened is it's been such a it's so many opportunities now that people really don't. They're not all kept. Some are, but I don't think they're all kept. Just for the sake of, hey, we got kids together and this, that, and the third. But there are some, you know what I'm saying, that do still stick around just because of that reason. For me, I think that, hey, kids involved, we're gonna have to figure out how to work this with the kids or whatever. But it just doesn't make, for me, it's to be there and not be happy knowing that the person that you're with, you don't have their whole heart. To me, I think it's worthless. It's not worth it at all. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's like living a lie, basically. You know what I'm saying? I see you, George. George says basically, hey, it's a no for me.
Yeah, it's not cheaper to keep her. You know why? Because it's toxic. You get sick. You have heart attacks. Health issues start coming up. Start going down. Mental issues. You got to pay out for all of that, man. So it's not cheaper to keep the person. It's cheaper to leave them. Just dip out.
Yeah, it's not just cheaper. It's
I'm
really more. It's no. I feel you what you're saying.
Yeah.
I get it. But what I was about to say, bro, is that even more so, it's better for your sanity, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Like just for your sanity's sake. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't be like, man, listen, if I have to start worrying about you being with somebody else, it's a wrap. It's done. Like that's the stuff. Like I don't have to think about that.
But I mean, they want to be with them.
I don't care how many memories we've built together. I don't care how many kids we've had. If I ever got to the point where I feel like, hey, I know that you got something else going on, it's a wrap. it's
It's a
done.
wrap for me too.
And
P.
I'll
I
talk
mean,
to God about that when I make it to heaven. You know what I'm saying? Like it's one of those things. You know what I'm saying? But for me, that's my sanity. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
for me, that would be my sanity at stake. Like for you to be worried, wondering where a
yeah,
person is,
it's too
wondering what a
much,
person
man.
is doing, who they're talking to, what's going on. No, I just couldn't. I couldn't do
You,
that. I can't sign up for that.
you know what? I have seen people go through that. They go to their job, they end up losing their job because now what happens is they're not productive on their job. Then it becomes a problem. Then next thing you know, something goes wrong with their car, or it just spirals where it like a ripple effect. Everything just start going wrong because
Right.
their mind, they're not focused, they're not they have too much distraction. And so it's when you say it's cheaper to keep that person, no, it's not. They go through a whole lot, can't sleep, lose weight, all kind of stuff, man. Then it hurts. Then other people that's around you that love you, they go through the same thing because they're worried about you. Then it affects them. So it's
Right.
not cheaper at all. That's just something people say because it sounds good, and people been saying it forever. And so that it's not cheaper to keep the person, man. It
Right.
costs.
It costs a lot, man. When we start talking about our sanity, that's more than money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Way more than money.
way more
So
than
we
money,
have to be
man.
really careful, you know what I'm saying, when dealing with that area. You know what I mean? Hold on a second, man. I'm gonna try to bring Joe, are you ready to jump on for real? Because I'm about to pull you on.
Yeah,
Hold
put her
on a
on.
minute. Hold
Put
on.
her, put her on. Put her on. Put her on.
I don't want to pull up. I don't want to throw her on the spot, and she'd be like, "I got to do my makeup." Hold on a second. It said way too much energy. It's no. It's a no for me. Peace over everything, and distance or disrespect. Period. Absolutely. Um. She, she said, "Let me put a hair tie." Okay. All right. Let me know when you're ready. Let me know when you're ready. Okay. So let me see. Hold on a second.
You
Marilyn
gonna put
jumped
her
in.
earrings out too? Huh?
All I know is when you truly love someone, being unfaithful doesn't cross your mind. Jimmy used to be a gigolo.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Oh,
But once we got together, it was a different feeling for us both. The love we feel for each other is so strong that being with someone else doesn't even cross our mind. Absolutely. Absolutely. I feel you. Absolutely. Come on, Joe. Arius is rooting her on right now. Y'all a trip. Let's see. It's cheaper to keep her old song. Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. It's man, listen, man, I tell you, it's just really crazy because like you could really find yourself in a bad place. It can really put you in a bad place if you're not careful, man. So I would tell the person quickly, look, when you know that this is not healthy for you, it's just time to go. Don't take yourself through it, and don't take the other person through it. If it's not healthy anymore, it's time to go. It's done. Because nobody should be in a position where they feel like they're in jail or they're
right,
being watched by the
right.
CO, like sort of like Joe said.
Walking
Um,
the eggshells.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, man. Yeah, I think that's very important. Let's see, I got some more comments are coming in. Hold on a second. Um, Maryland, it's run time. Yeah, absolutely. So okay, so all right. So on real talk, on the real talk. I know everybody's on right now, and this has really gotten good. And I told you, didn't I tell you that this was going to be a good show? Didn't
Yeah,
I
you
tell you
sure
that this was
did.
going to be one of those topics that people chime in on and talk about? I'm telling you, man, it is so important to like. There's certain topics that really are like things that people think about but never talk about, and it's
Hmm.
a need to talk about stuff because people suffer in silence most times because they don't have anyone to really vent to, and they don't have
Right.
anyone to ever talk about what's really on their mind, or they feel strange for feeling a certain type of way. So I think it's really good because like even though There's a lot of people talking. There's a lot of people that are here tonight that's just reading and just
Right.
listening in, but it's touching home. It's touching base
Right.
at home, or in their relationship in some way, shape, or form, or in a past relationship. You know what I'm saying? So let's just look at this for a moment. For a guy, let's look at this. For a guy, if and this was something that I heard a lot of guys say before. If you're accused of cheating
Mm-hmm.
a certain amount of times, is it true that a guy will ultimately start cheating, or vice versa?
That can
Is it
happen.
true? I've heard that said before. I've heard guys say, I've been accused for so long, I'm being treated like I'm cheating, so I might as well do it. Is that something? And it doesn't have to be your immediate life now. Let's so per se in the present time. But is that something from your past that you've thought? Is that something that you've heard before? Talk to me.
Yeah, that has happened to people that I know. Um, they got pushed and pushed, and they weren't doing anything, and the person just kept frustrating them, and next thing I know, they just like, okay, well, whatever you believe it, so receive it.
Chap said he doesn't think that's a reason to do it, and but Hector said, indeed, it is
Hmm.
something that has happened. So here we go. Wait. Marilyn says it's an excuse that many use to go ahead and cheat. But if you're being accused of it and you're being treated like you're cheating, what's the difference between the person cheating? What's the difference between them going ahead and start cheating? If
Yeah,
they're already being treated that way, and if they're already being accused of it, what is the difference if they just go ahead and start doing so? I mean, I'm just playing the devil's advocate
I,
here in the spot right
mhm,
here, like I do often, to kind of make people think. But
mhm,
if they do it, and they don't gain anything either way,
mhm.
right? So
Right.
what's the difference?
I agree with Marilyn.
Maryland says
Marilyn, I agree with this
own
part right here.
morality.
They are,
It's true.
yeah,
True. Go ahead, bro.
yeah, I agree with Marilyn. There are people who want to get out of something and looking for a reason. Men or women does that. So therefore, what they do is wait till, or they might irritate because they know how this person operates or know how they feel, and so they know how to push that button just so they can get out the relationship. There are people who will do that now. Oh yeah, so I agree with her. Just
Okay.
to get out, use an excuse just to get out.
Just to go
I've
ahead
seen
and
that.
be done. Basically. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Just to be done with it altogether.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can get y'all in. Okay, Cam, go ahead. You can keep talking, my brother. My bad.
Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah, but there are people who would do that, and it's not right either which way. You know, um, whether you're married or not married, it's called respect, man. And people do have feeling, and there are people who have actually commit suicide because they put their trust from women to men. They have put their trust in this person, and then they turn around and slap them in the face. That's not right. So they go both ways. Whether it's men or women, it's not right. It's not right.
Right? Yeah, it's sad actually, man. It's really sad that it should go that way because um it's like some people really do try to do right. You know what I'm saying? So when you do find a situation where you're being dogged out, like some people, and you got to remember now, some people have already been in relationships before, and they're kind of trying to turn over a new leaf, and they're trying to be that good person. You know what I mean? So when we think about that, you kind of got to think to yourself like, dang, are they really like in a place where like it's the stress of it all, or it's like, okay, I've tried so much and I've tried so hard to turn into another person, be a different person. This is like really bad for them, and they just decide to just kind of go AWOL on the relationship. It happens a lot. I'm trying to get Joe on right quick, guys. I'm sorry.
Okay. You know, I I'm watching Country Wayne right now for over a month and maybe 6 weeks. He has this series going where Ro, the character on there, Ro, she's going with this guy named Mike, and Mike had an old she has a had an old schoolmate, and just so happened to move to Atlanta, and Mike want to start this business. This friend of his so happened to run into her. They start this business. Next thing you know, old feelings start coming up because they working together. Then they got to the point where it got real close, and then he tells her, "I can't do it because my lady back home," and so forth. But he was being honest with her, but then yet he let himself go to a point where they actually kiss. Right? That's
Right.
cheating. But then he had to run back to her, and he kept covering up all these different things. And in real life, a lot of people do that. They
Right.
do that. Instead of being straight up with the person, now guess what? It all came down on him. Now he's in trouble. Now he's losing both
Right.
business and his lady.
Okay, so you think this type of stuff happens in real life then?
Yeah, it does. It does. He was not straight up with her, and trying to cover up, and therefore, guess what? He ended up losing both.
All right, so okay, so hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can just pull in one more time. Okay, good. There it is. Okay, I just sent it back over to you, Joe. All right, so yeah, man. So this is interesting. I'm glad we have a lady jumping on because it's good to get a lady input on this even more so. So with relationships, so like relationships are they're already complicated. Let's just be real. Relationships are already complicated. You have two people coming together, and when they come together, now they have come together to be one, and you're already working out all of these different things with each other. That by itself, in itself, is a very hard thing to do by itself. Then once you start getting all of the additional elements in it of being of the arguments, the arguments or the different forms of arguments and the different forms. Hey Joe, thanks for jumping on. So when you get all of these additional elements in, and now we're accusing each other of everything. Once that starts happening, now how does that really affect? How does that deal with the mind? So we got Joe on now. So I got the fellas on. I got a female on deck. So let's just ask the question: two people together trying to make this thing work, now trying to become one. Then now we have the element of the outside thought of the person might not be faithful, and this thing is really starting to drill you. How does that affect the coming together as one? How does that affect your own trust and your own feel of us being as one person? Come on, talk to me. Either one of you guys can jump in on that.
Go ahead.
You want me to go?
Yeah, you can go.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you good.
Much for bringing me on the show. I apologize for my appearance. This is not my normal appearance, but under
No,
the
you look good, Queen.
jump on real quick and say a piece.
Yeah.
Thank you to Shaftney for tagging me in this video. But this is some real good stuff, some real talk. But to answer your question, right? When you think about oneness, like think about a band or an orchestra, right? It's that one sound that you're looking for. So there's different instruments, there's different pieces, right, in the orchestra. But what really makes it an orchestra or a symphony, what makes it a classic, is that it comes together as one sound, right? There's no competition of each instrument. It's every instrument functioning the way that it's supposed to function in its right as that instrument, right? So a bass, a violin, they're all functioning in of what it's created to be. So there's an individual sense, but they're all working together to complete one sound, right?
Right.
So when you talk about that in terms of marriage or in a union, you can't be one with trust issues and confidence, right? Because the Bible says, how can two walk together unless they agree?
True.
Right.
So if you have insecurities or you believe that your mate is cheating on you, and again, it depends on the context, right? Because have you been found doing stuff that's not trustworthy in the past? Or is it just like some trauma that you have? Because I haven't heard that mentioned yet, the word trauma. It's a lot of people who bring past traumas in what they've dealt with in the last relationship to a new relationship that has nothing to do with what you just went through.
Right.
And if you haven't taken the time to heal that trauma, first of all, or not even just not heal it, but even to reflect on it.
Right.
How many times do you know people who get into relationships, they break up and they're already in a new relationship before taking time
Right.
to do an assessment, to do a analyzation of what happened. How did I contribute to the demise of this relationship? You got to ask yourself that. And so if there's a mistrust factor in that, that means that your spirit is not in agreement with who you're choosing to make a union with. So therefore you guys cannot agree. You will be walking in two different places. So the oneness is in the trust that this one is my one, first and foremost, right?
Right.
Like Adam had no confusion that Eve was his woman. He wasn't confused. He wasn't still questioning. He didn't have, and really he should have had the most questions, because where did this woman come from?
Right.
Right? But
That's
when you know
deep.
that you're one, this is the one who God entrusted to you, and favor comes from this woman, right? Because the Bible says that's what happens. A good woman who can find you obtain favor from the Lord. When you know that this is your person and you guys are pursuing purpose together and doing life together, you're gonna want to walk as one, because you believe in the vision of the sanctity and the unity. Is what I'm saying making sense?
Absolutely.
Yes, it made a lot of sense.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. You can continue.
Yeah. So my thing is, the biggest thing I see for me, and I'm pretty young. I'm 31, right? I'm pretty young, but I think I've had enough experiences as well where I know some stuff and I've been around some people, so I know some things and I study to show myself approved. But I think like the biggest things for me in relationships right now is that people are getting into relationships and not being intentional about it.
Right.
Right? Like,
What do you think drives it? What do you think drives it? When you say not being intentional, what do you think is driving people to get into these types of relationships?
of things, probably loneliness is one. I know for women, and I'll speak for myself. I'm West Indian, so I was born in Haiti, right? Caribbean parents, you know about anything about Caribbean parents, they're very strict. They have a lot to say. They're very involved in their children's lives, even when they're older, right?
Yep.
So for me right now,
My mother's Haitian.
sac passe, okay, so you know, for a woman 31 years old, so I've already like done all my schooling, right? I'm about to finish my doctoral degree right now, which is what all West Indian parents want, is for you to finish school. But then they have this other piece that's not really spoken of that they have this expectancy, especially for women, to be married by a certain age, to have children by a certain age. And if you don't hold true to that criteria, then it's something is wrong with you. So you have women who is racing their biological clock, thinking that they're getting too old, or, you know, that they need to find someone, they need to be with somebody, right? So if you listen to the lies of society, and I'll just be real with you, some of those lies, they come from family and they come from generational patterns that are not this. And we keep reiterating these patterns and doing these same things, trying to get a different result. But we know that's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing the same way, expecting different results. Right? So I decided, for me, I had to make a conscious choice and an intentional choice for me to decide not to go by what society deems is womanhood and when I should complete it by. But my thing is, if God is the author of time, like, I can never be early or late. I'm right on time all the time, right?
Right.
So I think if more women can add more truth to their, and not just women, but men too, add more truth to their thought, to challenge that, to challenge those primary thoughts, could take them far. People are getting into relationships for loneliness. People are getting into, you talked about this, Pastor, you said, people are staying in relationships for competition. I know, I've seen this so many times.
Right.
Y'all don't even like each other in real life. I've seen the way that you guys relate to each
Yeah.
other. Y'all don't even like each other, but you want to create a cute reel for social media,
Right.
Facebook.
I just
So
said that today. You're right.
creating this false
Yeah.
narrative. You've been with this man for 3 years and you haven't laughed in almost 3 years.
Yep.
But you need to keep up that image that you're happy and that you know. That's why I caution people all the time. Social media reels, REELS, is not always real, REAL, right?
Truly.
So you have to be careful who you're idolizing and who you're being influenced by,
Right.
because you're putting out a narrative that's really not even true for you. So people are getting into relationships for all kinds of reasons, except the right ones. Just knowing, like, am I ready to be in a relationship first and foremost? Am I ready to be? You need to assess that. Am I
That's
ready
very
to be in a
important.
relationship?
That's
Am I
very
mature
important.
enough to be in a relationship?
Right.
What is it that I'm searching for? And
Yeah.
I'll say this, and this will be my last thing. I'll let you guys jump in next. My thing is, the other thing is waiting for someone to make you happy. That is the enemy's biggest lie. If you're waiting for someone to make you happy, you're gonna die unhappy. You should be happy within yourself first. Right? That's the individual component that I was talking about with the orchestra, but coming together in one sound. You should be happy within yourself. You should be whole within yourself. Now, someone can come along and add to your happiness, but they should not be the source of your happy. Because what happens when they're not around?
Right. And you know, that's truly the reason why people accuse. When they start accusing, when they don't have a real reason to accuse, when it's just a matter of the emotions change, a person's schedules change, how they do things is different, and they start to accuse. Most times that accusing comes from that place where they're not really whole in themselves already. They're not happy within themselves already. And that really is a trigger point. Like that happiness spot where you're waiting for somebody to make you happy. As soon as that person does something different, people become afraid that they're about to lose what little bit of happiness they think. So they start accusing, and really the accusing isn't to chase a person off. Most of the accusing is to make a person feel like they're being watched, so they're more apt to stay around more or be closer. It's a control factor.
It's more damaging though than anything though.
Absolutely.
It's damaging. It's irritating. Nobody, and I, as a woman, I'm saying this. It's irritating because I don't know if I can use this on the show, but I think the sexiest thing that a man can do is to have options and show you what he would rather do. Right. So many women are basically trying to like chain their men, for lack of a better word, or like enclose him so that he don't see any other women or he don't be around other attractive women or what have you. But really and truly, I want to put my man in positions where he has the option to hurt me or to do that, but choose to honor me. You can only know someone loves you by giving them an option.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. I think. Go ahead, Cam. You were about to say something.
No, I was just gonna say quick. Do you know what you just said? It makes the man leap bounds when his woman do that for him, and it's like, man, I already got it all. My woman does this, she does that. Those who don't do that, the man that doesn't do that, they are boys.
Yes.
Okay, and they're not men. They're very immature. They're not men. But a true man be like, wow, my lady, I have it all. You know, and you leave bounds for that woman. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, because it's ultimately, listen, at the end of the day, any stress that's brought to a relationship, it does not benefit the person who brings the stress to the relationship. It doesn't. At the end of the day, it will always hurt the person who brings the stress to the relationship. I believe for relationships, it should be a certain point in time in your relationship where you say, we're one. We're good. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like there's a working process. There's a work that has to happen before you really become one. You know what I'm saying? It's a big work.
Absolutely.
But I believe there's certain things that should not be a factor or a problem, even if you're not one yet. I believe when it comes to you having someone else outside of your relationship, I think that's just it shouldn't happen. You know what I'm saying? It really shouldn't happen. I think that we can really keep each other's attention enough, and if not, then truly I believe that you're with the wrong person, and you shouldn't be.
Absolutely.
This isn't something you should be pursuing. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody really wants to ever sit around and wonder to themselves if that other person is somewhere else, mentally, emotionally,
in there, man,
or physically.
Yeah.
And real talk. Like,
you have maturity too to say that to that person. If that person is not meeting, goes again to being intentional about why are you getting in this relationship, right? So if you have a need, relationships are for two people. 3 and 4 is a crowd, right? So if there's a need for you to have another person, a side piece, or another person or there are some women who have men in their phones for a romantic relationship, men in their phone to take them to dinner, men in their phone to do this, that, and the third.
So
if
true.
you need that, you have to be mature enough and honest within yourself to say that you're not mature enough for a healthy relationship.
Right. Yeah. Don't even try to have a relationship. Just let everybody know. Right. Because honestly, so past tense me, I had a lot of females at one time, but all of them knew about each other. And I didn't have to lie about anything. I didn't have to try to trick anybody. I was straight up with everybody. So everybody knew what time it was from the door. So there was no, I just don't believe in you having to try to like sneak around or put a person in something that they have not signed up for. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Yes. So if a person has that type of agenda, that type of mindset, I think it's just right if you're truthful. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with everybody so they know the risk that they're taking. You know what I'm saying? And they can make the choice whether or not that's what they want to be involved in. But it is so many people that don't know how to do that. What they do is they think it's a game. And so they play this game and think it's cute to have all of these different extensions for different reasons. And they think that is like in some way, shape, or form a plus. You know what I'm saying? In life. But really that is like one of the most dangerous things to be doing.
That's what it is. It's narcissistic abuse. And that goes from men or women.
Yeah.
What I hear you saying is if you are honest about your lifestyle, whether you're living a good lifestyle or not, when you are honest and upfront about who you are and what you do is you empower the other person to make a choice, like you said. This person now has an option to either want to deal with this mess or not. Because I was upfront with them and I gave them that information. They had information to make an informed decision. It's narcissistic, though, when you don't become upfront, when you're not upfront with that information, you lie and manipulate or you tell half truths to get someone to get reaction out of someone else. That's narcissistic. We're talking about abuse at that point, right?
Right.
So, Cam, the show. I'm done. But yeah, I do think so. And tell me what you guys think about this point, because you mentioned, I heard a couple times about you guys saying how women sometimes will bring up things, right?
Right.
I think that there also does have to be a level of emotional intelligence within men to really hear on a deeper level what's being said.
True.
Women talking code. I don't know where we get that from or why, but we just do.
And that's mainly going to come like dealing with older men that have matured. They can pick that up. You know what I'm saying? And they know how to kind of steer the situation, the conversation, so that it's not offensive or taken as an offense. You know what I'm saying? When certain things are brought up. I get it. Yeah.
Because what she wants really is to be reassured.
Right.
You know, she doesn't have the language to say that.
Right.
And this is not all women, because there are some women who are just toxic. There's toxic. There's a thing that's called toxic femininity. And it's very real.
Yeah, it's a different way to bring it. So it's like you can tell when you're dealing with toxic, because toxic brings things to you from a standpoint of aggression. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Language of I want to be reassured is more of a soft-spoken language where
that's feminine.
This is all I'm saying is that, you know what I'm saying, I feel some type of way, you know what I mean? And then it gives a man a way of saying, you know what, Oh no, Valerie, don't do that, Valerie. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Oh my God. Well, so so when you like when a man hears it's being spoken, it's all about communication and how you communicate. Aggression is the worst way to deal with a man. Period. It's like the I say it this way, like my sons, you know, they stick their chest out to their mom. You know what I'm saying? When mom yells at them, they kind of stick their chest out. And the reason why is because as even as boys, they know that they're men. You know what I'm saying? And they know their position. So it's like for them, it's like they're not gonna just like want to just cower down or bow down.
Yeah.
And so you're gonna get a roar back. You're gonna get that pushback. So it's like the way communication happens is much better when it's soft spoken. I believe men really do have a way of hearing you better when it's soft, when it's said soft.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And it makes them want to be softer.
Absolutely.
Versus hard and throw a guard up. You know what I mean?
I want to give language to that if I could real quick, because I think that in regards to the relationships, people need to understand very clearly what masculine energy and feminine energy is, right?
Right.
So that example that you just gave with your sons puffing their chest up, right? We can interpret that as disrespect if we really don't know the anatomy of a man, right? That is masculine energy. Aggression is masculine energy. Hunting is masculine energy. You know, going for their food, going after what you want, ambition, relentless hard work, determination, success. That all takes male energy. So you gotta train your mind to not see male or female, but understand the language that I'm using is male energy. That means that a woman can portray male energy as well.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So that aggression piece, when you're trying to get your husband or your partner to do something or get a point to them, if you already have a man who operates in masculine energy, what you're doing when you bring that aggression is what he sees is competition with another man.
Right.
Yeah.
Challenge. Right.
That you're throwing out there. He can't. His first reaction is gonna want to be to challenge it and to compete with it. He doesn't know how to nurture that because that's too aggressive. So first things women have to do is they have to evaluate what kind of man am I with? Is he a masculine energy male or is he a feminine energy male? Because they are two different types of men and you have to treat them very differently as well. So for a masculine male, a man who is, like I said, like a protector, a provider, you know, things like that has that masculine energy. What you have to decide to do, and it has to be a conversation between two people, is one has to decide who's going to be the male energy and who's going to be the female energy. And so if your husband has decided he's going to be the masculine energy, you have to decide that you're going to be the feminine energy. Or else that relationship ain't going to work. You can't have two male energies together and two feminine energies together. It just doesn't work.
If you got a real husband, if you got a real man, he's not going to agree to have female energy.
Absolutely not.
He's just not going to do it naturally.
He don't have it in him.
Right. It's an issue. So
yeah, look.
Like who's the man who's wearing the pants here? You get what I'm
saying? Yeah. And I promise you, and this is like a big thing with relationships. I promise you, if you want the result that you're looking for, you come in a different way. You know what I'm saying? If you come softly, you're gonna get everything you want from a man, pretty much. Truthfully, men don't chase you down because they see something hard. They don't chase you down because, you know what I'm saying? They chase you because they see something soft. They see and they know what they want. So at the end of the day, that's what they're expecting. So when they start getting that type of energy, it's going to be an issue.
It's going to be a clash. And
good smelling perfume and lotion smelling.
Oh yeah. It's going to be a territorial battle. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And women have to understand that sometimes the hardest thing you can do is be soft.
Say that again.
I said women have to understand that the hardest thing they can do is be soft. Is to be gentle.
Yeah.
Yes. No, that's absolutely true. That is, and you know what? A lot of women find it very hard to be soft. And it's almost like it's like the brother and sister effect. Like I notice how I used to be with my sisters. I notice how my sons are with their sister. It's like they're always at each other's throat. You know what I'm saying? Like always. So now she matches their energy 100%. So she comes at them, they come at her. It's always back and forth. And I think a lot of times that translates over into real life relationships. Like when that woman and that man or whatever goes and they find that someone else, they kind of bring that in with them. And it's like almost like, okay, I want to challenge you. Instead of someone saying, no, I'm not going to challenge you. We're not going to have this. You know what I'm saying? It's like you kind of break that whole cycle and show the other person how to have a real conversation.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody has to do something different. Like in a relationship, if we constantly go back and forth at each other's throat, it will once you start that cycle, it continues. And it's hard to break once you start it until someone gets mature enough to say enough is enough. You know what I'm saying? Let's not do this. You know, until you can do that, it's really not good. Oh, y'all, I got to read some of these comments because they're putting them in fast, and I don't want to go over them. Sorry. Hold on one second. So, Marilyn, what did you say? You on the other? Wait a minute, Cam. I think she was shooting. My bad. I think she was shooting shots. Wait. What should I say? Joy is fair. I don't mind her being on here. That's Shaft in Maryland.
Hey, you can come back on. We like you. You come back on.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Hold up. See, Shaft. I think Shaft said that he was thinking that Marilyn thought she had a female coming on that was gonna just attack. Hold on. It says not just communicating, but also comprehending what your partner is trying to convey. Truly, Ivy, truly. Marilyn says you will get banned, Shaft. I knew this was coming. You
oh boy,
you're right. I have no filter. She says she doesn't have a filter. Oh, Cam says now you're just biased. Oh my God. Come on.
She's telling the truth. She's telling the truth.
I think that's pretty fair on both sides about what men and women need to do. I think, and as you just said, it needs to start out with a conversation, and you can't assume,
right,
just because that person is a male that they want to lead. Not every male wants to lead.
Right.
And in this society
when you really know how it works well, I believe, like scripture gives a very good picture of the good wife, and it talks about how the man, he sits in the gate. She handles all of these affairs. She takes care of the field. She takes care of her children. She takes care of the house. She makes sure everything is in order. Yeah. And it talks about him sitting in the gate. And it's like, when you think about that, he's in the gate with other men of a reputation, people of reputation. And when you really know how it really works well together is when a man is able to provide the resources that his wife can take and multiply.
Come on.
Like, when you can do that, it changes the game. He doesn't have to talk much. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have to be seen out front all the time. That's what kings do. What's needing to be handled behind the scene. And she is able, and I'm gonna tell you why it's so crucial when you understand the art form of how God created men and women. Women have a soft touch, they have a soft voice, they have a pretty face, they have a nice shape. At the end of the day, they could pretty much walk in any door and get favor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When men walk in that door, it's usually his name that's going to get in his favor, or, his presence is going to give some type of, I guess you could say, make people feel uncomfortable because he's such a man. You know what I mean? So sometimes we can be a little bit too rough around the edges, but if you know how to fall back and let the woman handle things that needs to be handled, and just make sure you holding it down to where she doesn't have to stress out about situations, because you know how to make those connections. You know how to put things in place. When it falls together like that, you got a winning team.
You're talking good.
Nobody else can kill it. And that's just how it flows. You got a winning team when you work together well. We don't get into each other's path. We don't operate in
Right.
each other's operation. We don't
Right.
mess up each other's flow. You do what you do good. I'm gonna do what I do good. And at the end of the day, it all
And what
comes
from
together.
me to help you succeed? That's really the only
Right.
thing that most people should be asking.
Right.
And I love that you just like I love that depiction of the scripture that you were talking about with the husband sitting at the gate, right? And why can he do that? Like why, you know, like how is he so comfortable sitting at the gate on his
Right.
wife, all doing these things? And it says that at the beginning of the scripture, the heart of her husband trusts in her.
Oh yeah.
So it goes back to that trust factor that we were just talking about from the beginning, right?
Mhm.
Right.
The oneness,
And he knows she can manage it. You know what I'm saying?
That.
You manage it. You got this. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go sit up here because I know that everything I gave you is gonna be multiplied when I come back. You know what I'm saying? Everything is handled. You know what
But
I'm
if
saying?
the heart doesn't trust in that woman,
It's a wrap. It's a
Do you
wrap.
know?
Now
Do
he
you know?
ain't no more. He's more worried about trying to find out where you at.
okay,
What you doing? You know what I'm saying? And
Okay.
that's the type of stuff that ruins greatness. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
and
You got to be able to say to yourself, you know what? At what point? Why are we together?
right,
Why are we together? If we're not creating some form of legacy
Right.
or
Yeah.
building an awesome empire, everything that we're doing is for nothing. We
Yeah.
wasting time. If we can't build together, if we can't grow together,
we're wasting
we don't
time.
need to be together.
Right.
Yeah, that's it. Because time is like the only thing you can't get back.
Right.
Period. So the time you waste could have been built. You could have been building with somebody that wanted you there. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, like in your mind, the last thing you want to be thinking about is if somebody's cheating is like the last thing, very last thing that should be crossing anybody's mind in a real relationship. I'm talking about grown folk.
Yeah,
You know.
You
You
know
know.
what I mean?
Healthy.
Grown folk.
Healthy.
Yeah.
Right. What say, Cam?
You know, our culture has been so messed up, man, as far as relationships and so forth. And that scripture that you said that you read, you were talking about, that's the way it was structured with kings back in Africa. The women went out, did things, took care of everything, and the king sat at the throne because he trusted. He knew they knew what they were doing, you know. But these days, even in Africa, all over the world, the world is messed up, man. Everybody's
Everybody's in everybody's place.
yeah.
You know? And I see you, Chef. Man, Chef say y'all got me up late tonight. I know. We got to get off. Okay. I'll conclude because at the end of the day, what the world has done, the world has really put us in a state of confusion
Yeah.
where we're all competing against each other one way or another.
Yeah.
And you know, it's even with like all of the things you have from social media, whatnot, even our relationships are affected, mentally affected by so much that people are doing way too much on social media. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
From TikTok to Instagram to everything else, to where there's so much temptations and things like that put in people's face, to where people begin to worry and wonder if they're good enough, if they're not good enough, or if they're enough or not. So all of these things start to happen, and it's becoming a point in time now where we really fight more than we build, and that's just the bottom line. So if tonight's show doesn't do anything else, I'm hoping that everybody was able to jump on and really get a real feel of the truth in relationship, that we have to have something that's more important to us and something that's more tangible to us than just a matter of the worries of our mind. It has to be something of foundational truth that we are here for each other, to build with one another, and to make things better in both of our lives. If we can't do that together, then we're wasting our time. If we can't fight for the other person's attention. We can't fight for another person's a loyalty in any way, shape, or form. If we have to find ourselves fighting for it, it was never yours to begin with. I just want to say that. So look, Joya, thank you so much for jumping
Thank you.
on tonight.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it. Got to pull you back on again for
But
sure.
definitely.
Thank
you
Cam,
for-
so
definitely-
before we leave, go ahead, Joya. Say that again.
I said thank you for having me. I definitely enjoyed this conversation.
You're
I didn't know what I was coming in here for, but this was pleasantly. I really enjoyed that. Thank you for having me on. I hope I come back on for another time.
Yeah. We're
That's it.
on every Wednesday night, 7:30. We jump on Wednesday nights at 7:30. The He's Able show. Cam, did you have something to drop on us before we jump out?
Yeah, so there's an old hymn. I might mess up on the words a little bit. I'm not sure, but it says, "Trust and obey, for there's no other way but to be happy in Jesus, but to trust and obey." That's it.
All right, well, that's what's up. I want to give a big shout out to Rashard as well. He's not here tonight because he has to take a journey tonight. So I want to give you a hope you get there safely, brother, on your trip, and everything with the family. Bless you, brother. Thank you so much again, Joy, for jumping on. And guys, everybody that jumped on tonight, thank you so much. Bless you all. We'll see you again next week. We will be back in live and direct on this show, the He's Able show with Thomas Ware and Friends. Yo, I'll talk to you all